Okay, guys, so I was actually reading the book of Proverbs. I was in chapter 31, and it is about the king Lemuel. Now, the king Lemuel received a prophecy that his mother had taught him in this chapter 31 of the Proverbs. And pretty much it's just going on to describe how, God is saying take on a wife with integrity, take on one wife, never take on foreign wives, because these foreign wives that come from different backgrounds and different religious faiths, they led Samuel to go against God and, praise other deities and things like that. So here is a warning, guys, of how a woman should be, how her integrity should be. So the words of King Lemuel, the prophecy that his mother taught him: what, my son, and what, son of my womb, and what, the son of my vows? Give not the strength unto woman, nor the ways that which destroyeth kings. It is not for kings, O Lemuel. It is for not for the kings to drink wine, nor princes strong drink, lest they drink and forget the law and pervert the judgment of any of the afflicted. Give strong drink unto him that is ready to perish, and wine unto those who have heavy hearts. Let him drink and forget his poverty, and remember his misery no more. Open thy mouth for the dumb and the cause of all such that are appointed to destruction. Open thy mouth and judge righteously, and plead the cause of the poor and needy. Who can find a virtuous woman? For her prince is far above rubies. For the heart of her husband doeth safely trust in her, so that shall have no need to spoil. She will do him good and not evil all the days of her life. She seeketh wool and flax, and worketh willingly with her hands. She is like the merchant ships. She brings her food from afar. She riseth also while it is yet night, and giveth meat to her household and a portion of her maidens. She's considered a field, and buildeth in it. With the fruit of her hand she planteth a vineyard. She girdleth her lions with strength, and strengthen her arms. She perceiveth that her merchants is good. Her candles go not out by night. She layeth her hands to the spindle of her hands hold the distaff. She stretcheth out her hand to the poor. Yea, she reacheth forth her hands to the needy. She is not afraid of the snow for her household, for all of her household are clothed with scarlet. She maketh herself covering of tapestry. Her clothing is silk and purple. Her husband is known in the gates, when he sitteth among the elders of the land. She maketh fine linen, and selleth it, and delivereth girdles unto the merchant. Strength and honor are her clothing, and she shall rejoice in time to come. She opened her mouth with the wisdom, in her tongue is the law of her kindness. She looketh well into the ways of her household, and eateth not the bread of idleness. Her children arise up and call her blessed, her husband also, and he praises her. Many daughters have gone virtuously, but not excellence among them. Favor is deceitful, and beauty is vain, but a woman that feareth the Lord, she shall be praised. Give her the fruit of her hands, and let her own works praise her in the gates. So, in other words, he's telling her, the mom is telling Lemuel, you want to choose a woman that's not out here, partying, drinking, doing these things, wearing these provocative clothes, bodycon dresses and things like that, showing too much things that are revealing. A woman that is actually building her children up, building her family up, building her legacy for her children. She's speaking good things out of her mouth. She's not indulging in, casual drinking a lot, going out to clubs and doing things like that. Now, I know we don't live in this day and time, but guys, it is women out here that can provide your need. God said, let no man go lonely. From when a man is lonely, that's when he get distracted by all these things. So even Lemuel's mom was telling him, find a virtuous woman who has fear in the Lord, and who will raise her children up. Her children will call her blessed. Her husband will call her blessed. It's a lot of things that can be men and, you know, women can be deceived by. You can fall victim to temptation, fall victim to lust. But, you know, it's saying that beauty is vain, but a woman that feareth the Lord, she shall be praised. So sometimes it's not good to really go after people for their looks, but actually the morals and standards that they have. When you're choosing people, you know, to spend your life with, when you're looking for your ideal wife, when you're looking for your ideal husband, these are the things that you want to look for. You want to make sure that you're seeking a man that values the good morals of a woman instead of value the morals of someone who's deceitful. Sorry, that was a motorcycle coming in, and it's kind of warm, so I got the door open or whatever. But yeah, you want to make sure her covering is made of tapestry. Her clothes, she has to find the finer clothes. You know, she's not going dressing looking like a harlot, you know, dressing scantily. You know, you want to make sure this woman that you're dating, you know, and bring it home to your family is somebody of high integrity that you wouldn't mind having on your shoulder. Not as a prize for the wrong things, but a prize, someone that you know can help build up a family structure with you, someone that can lift you up, someone when she opens her mouth, it comes with wisdom. The tongue is the law of kindness. So you want to make sure when you're picking your ideal wife, you know, you want to make sure that you're looking for someone that's lifting you up in kindness, you know, someone that's not, you know, gossiping, talking down to you, you know, not knowing really how to speak properly to men and things like that. Her husband is in the gates, and he sitteth among the elders in the land. She maketh fine linen and sell it, and deliver girdles unto the merchants. So you want to make sure your wife is also not compassionate to you and your children, but you want to make sure she's compassionate to the poor as well, and to the needy. Why? Because these are ideal women in the way God wants women to represent themselves, represent their husbands, and represent their family. Yeah, she bringeth forth food from afar. So this wife, she knows how to nurture her children. She knows how to nurture everything. In the nighttime, her candle does not go out, which means her light does not go out. She's not this way in the daytime, and then when the nighttime comes, you know, she's living a vampire life. She's vamping it out. You know, her light goes dim because she's tapping into darkness. No, she layeth her hands upon the spindles, and her hand hold the distaff. She stretcheth out her hand to the poor, yea, she reacheth forth the hands to the needy. So you want to make sure, you know, when you're picking these ideal wives, you know, Lemuel's mom told him and warned him, these are the qualities that you should seek in a woman. Someone that can not only help her family, but help the needy and the poor. Yeah, so you want to make sure this is the type of woman that you're going for. Ladies, you want to make sure this is the type of man, he holds these qualities, and looking for this type of woman. You don't want to, you know, seek a relationship with a guy who really doesn't value you, and he's just looking at you for sex, or he's looking at you with all the things that you can do for him, and you know what I'm saying, he's pretty much acceptable to you wearing provocative clothes, because that's not the way you want to represent yourself, and that's not the way God wants you to be represented by a man. He wants you to have a man with integrity, you know, that can pretty much lead the household, that can pretty much lead his wife into the mercy and the goodness of God. Someone that is not drinking too much. Someone, yeah, because it says here, it is not for kings, O Lemuel, it is not for kings to drink wine, nor for princes strong drink, lest they drink and forget the law, and they're going to pervert the judgment. So when you drink, you know, when you become intoxicated, you kind of pretty much forget your morals, your standard, your better judgment. That's how it's so many women and men having one night stands and things like that. Give strong drink unto the ones that's ready to perish, which means the ones that are ready to die, you know, that's taking them out of the pain and things that they're suffering from. Give wine unto those that may be of heavy heart, someone that's going through sorrow. God didn't put those things for us to abuse them in an everyday basis or whatever. So it says, let him drink and forget his poverty, and remember his misery no more. Open the mouth for the dumb, and cause, and all such be appointed to destruction. Yeah, because you know the saying, like, the drunk speaks the truth. It's the truth, but it's a fool, in other words. So it's saying, open thy mouth and judge righteously, and plead the cause for the poor and for the needy. Who can find a virtuous woman, for her price is far beyond rubies. The heart of her husband doeth safely trust in her. and she shall have no need to spoil, meaning your wife won't spoil you in a negative way. Like when you pick a good wife and you selected a good wife, you know that because she's far more than ruby. She's far more than money. You wouldn't trade this woman in for the world. No price could be put on her. You know that you can trust her with your secrets. You know that you can trust her with your business plans. You know that you can trust this woman to do all of the good things that God created woman for. God gave man woman so that he would not be lonely. It's not good for man to be lonely, and that's actually something that God spoke on in the Bible. So again, open thy mouth to judge righteously. And that's how you know who your wife is. Have conversations with these women and these men when you link up with them. See what their conversation is. Is the conversation anything of future goals where they see themselves with their family, with their children, you know, with their businesses, with God promises? Are all these things aligning with God promises? And if you want to go back and do some research about the conversation King Lemuel had with his mom, and how his mom warned him of, you know, taking on too many wives and making sure you select a wife of good virtue, you can actually go to the Proverbs 31. It's actually Solomon. He wrote the Proverbs or whatever. He had a lot of wisdom. He was one of God's, you know, wisest of all. He wrote a couple of books in the Bible. He wrote the Proverbs. He wrote the Song of Solomon or whatever. Yeah, so he wrote these books, and Solomon himself actually fell victim to, you know, these wives that Lemuel's mother warned him about. And Lemuel was only mentioned one time in the Bible, and it was actually in Proverbs 31. This did stand out to me, and I just wanted to share it with you guys because I know sometimes we wonder, you know, is this the right person for us? Is this the right man for me? Is this the right woman for me? You know, I just want to make sure, because, you know, a lot of people are ready to settle down with their kingdom spouses, with women, and want to make sure that they're settling down with the right women, because maybe you've made some mistake in the past with your selection of women. But this is the prophecy that Lemuel's mom told him about the wife that he should select. Make sure that you're choosing one wife, because it's unlawful not. But again, you can find this verse in Proverbs 31. And I love you guys. Until next time.